So we are about 10 games into this year's MLB seasons. We got a lot of guys playing along to their expectations. We also got guys exceeding and disappointing. So here on Studs and Duds, I'd like to talk about who is hot and who is not in the last 7 days of MLB play. I also like to cover a couple position players, one starting pitcher, and then one relief pitcher. So without further ado, let's get started with some duds. I'm starting my list off with the guy who started on a tear. That guy's Will Benson. In the last 7 days, he's had 20 at-bats. In that span, he has 2 hits, putting at him a 100 average, and he took 2 walks, and that gives him a disgustingly bad 182 on base percentage. He also has a 250 slugging percentage and 10 strikeouts, so he's just not able to get the bat on the ball. The speed is there because at least he has 2 hits that are a double and a triple. Next up is Francisco Lindor. He is the first of 2 Mets on this list this week. In 24 at-bats, he only has 2 hits, and both of them are extra bases. That would be a homer and a double. His average for the week is .083, with a 233 on-base percentage. He raised these numbers towards the end of the week, so there is a chance he's coming out of the slump. But he is one of the guys in New York, and his team's success partially rides on his performance. Next up is his Mets teammate, Pete Alonso. He cranked a game-tying 9th-inning homer against the Tigers, and that really has been it for him, because in 27 at-bats, he has 3 hits, giving him a slash line of a 111 average, and he's only taken a walk, putting that up to a 143 on-base percentage. He is not taking pitches, which is not evident in only that 1 walk, but it's even more clear when you see he has struck out 10 times in that span. It's not looking good for the Mets, but as we all know, Pete Alonso, he's either going to hit it out the park, or he's going to swing and miss and go right back to that dugout. The glove of Gunnar Henderson is about the only positive thing for the reigning Rookie of the Year this past week. In 24 at-bats, he has 3 hits and a walk, giving him a 125 average with a 154 on-base percentage. He has not seen the ball well either because he has 7 strikeouts, but I'm confident he'll get it going again. Now to the pitchers. First up, I got Emerson Hancock. He's got to be the dud of the week for the starters. In the last 7 days, he has pitched 8.2 innings to the tune of 11.42 ERA. He also has a 1.96 whip. In this span, he's given up 11 earned runs and has allowed 15 hits. 3 of those are homers. He's young and talented, but I'm starting to think he might need a little more time to develop in the minors. Now, this guy's stats aren't the worst of the week, but this pick has to do with the situations he was in. In 2 innings of work, Scott McGough has managed to blow a lead in 2 games, picking up 2 losses. He has a 4.5 ERA with a 1.5 whip. That's not the worst given how many innings you pitch, but when you got a high leverage guy like that, you need to convert on situations like that. You can't go and blow 2 of them. Guys played worse, but based on the situations, he's got to be on my dud list. Now that we got the duds out the way, here's your favorite part. We're on to the studs. First and foremost, I owe this first guy an apology. Last week, I put Bryce Harper on my duds list, and then I posted the video. About 1 hour later, I go and I check ESPN, and he has a 3-homer game. I don't know what I did, but I pissed him off, and here's what I'll tell you guys. If you guys want me to reverse jinx anyone else, because clearly it worked on Harper, drop a sub and let me know, and I'll make it happen, all right? Anyways, in the last week, Harper's had 25 at-bats. He's produced 9 hits. 3 were homers and 2 were doubles, and he has an 800 slugging percentage during the span. He has a 360 average with a 385 on base and 7 RBIs. He's got to be my stud of the week. Next up, we got Spencer Steer. Unlike his teammate Will Benson, Steer is railing the ball. In 22 at-bats, he has a 409 average with a 500 on-base percentage. He has 3 homers and 9 RBIs with 3 walks to go along with an insane 1.455 OPS. You might as well flip a coin and bet he gets on base. A 500 on-base percentage is absurd. Look, the White Sox have been bad, but Gavin Sheets has been great. In 16 at-bats this week, he has a 375 average with a 546 on-base percentage. He had a streak of 8 plate appearances in a row where he got on base safely, and that is good no matter what level of baseball you play on. That is hard to do. His OPS of 1.233 is very solid. He is a good fantasy pickup for those who play because he's rostered in 1% of leagues. He should see more at-bats with injuries to Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez to go along with his positive production. So maybe that's a good pickup for you. On the other side of Chicago, we have Seiya Suzuki, who is also killing it. In 20 at-bats, he has 7 hits, 2 homers, and 10 RBIs. He's also taking walks with a 444 on-base percentage. He's a very good player who gets overshadowed a lot, but that's not going to happen because I'm acknowledging him. He is a stud this week. I had this guy last week, but he just needs to be here again. Ronel Blanco threw a no-hitter and proceeded to go almost 5 more innings of work before he allowed his first hit of the year, and he still only allowed 1. He has an insane stat line of 0 earned runs and a .47 whip in 15 innings of work. I'm curious to see how long he could extend his scoreless streak, but the Astros seem to have a gem in this guy. Normally I do one relief pitcher, but I have to give a shout out to both Ryan Helsley and Emmanuel Clase. These closers have each allowed 0 runs and converted 3 save opportunities this previous week. Helsley in 4 innings of work struck out 3 and has a .75 whip. Clase in 3 innings of work struck out 4 and has a .67 whip. Consider it game over if your team faced these guys in the 9th inning. Well, that's my studs and duds list for the week. As always, I know I missed someone, so go ahead and let me know in the comments. But thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.